My husband overheard me say I regret marrying him. Now he's filed for divorce and vanished. Liam and I had been married for 8 years. From the outside, we looked like the perfect couple. We had a modest but cozy home, steady jobs, and a quiet, predictable life. Friends often told me how lucky I was to have someone like Liam, reliable, kind, the quintessential good guy. But deep down, I knew something was off. Our marriage wasn't unhappy in the obvious sense. There were no big fights, no betrayals, no shocking secrets. It was just empty. The spark we once had was long gone. Conversations felt transactional, affection was rare, and intimacy felt like an obligation. I told myself it was normal, that every marriage hit a plateau. But the nagging sense of dissatisfaction never went away. One rainy Friday afternoon, I came home early from work. My sister, CLA, called, her voice lively as she launched into another rant about her boyfriend, Greg, and his endless flaws. His lack of ambition, laziness, and inability to commit. I just don't know if he's the one, CLA said, exasperated. Then she added, how did you know Liam was the right person for you? Her question caught me off guard. I hesitated, searching for an answer, but the silence stretched on. CLA laughed nervously. Come on, don't tell me you have regrets too. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the weight of the past few months, or maybe I just needed to say it out loud. Sometimes, I admitted quietly. Sometimes I think I do. CLA went silent, but the words kept spilling out. It's not that Liam's a bad husband. He's a good man, and he's always treated me well. But I don't know if he's the one. I've been feeling like this for a while now, like maybe I settled because it felt like the right thing to do. My life is fine. It's stable, but is fine enough? Is stability what I want for the rest of my life? I don't feel alive anymore. CLA sighed. That's heavy, Emma. Have you talked to Liam about how you feel? I can't, I said quickly, almost offensively. How do you tell someone you're not sure you'd marry them if you had the choice again? It would destroy him. A soft creak behind me made my stomach drop. CLA, I have to go, I said hurriedly, ending the call. I turned around, heart pounding, but the hallway was empty. I told myself it was just the house settling, but unease lingered. That evening, Liam was unusually quiet. He avoided eye contact, gave short answers, and didn't sit next to me on the couch like he usually did. I chalked it up to him having a bad day. But over the next week, he grew distant. He left early, came home late, and barely spoke to me. When I asked if something was wrong, he brushed me off with, I'm fine. I tried to convince myself it was just a phase, but deep down, I knew something had changed. One night, I came home to find him sitting in the kitchen with a stack of papers in front of him. His face was calm, but his eyes betrayed the storm beneath. Liam, I said cautiously. What's going on? He slid the papers across the table. My hands trembled as I picked them up. Divorce papers. I looked at him, my voice barely a whisper. You're divorcing me? His jaw tightened. I heard you, Emma, he said quietly. Last week, on the phone with CLA. My breath caught. You heard me? I wasn't supposed to come home early, but I did, he said. I stood there and listened to every word. You think you settled for me. You think I'm holding you back. His voice cracked, but his tone remained firm. You don't love me, not the way I thought you did. Liam, no, I cried, tears streaming down my face. That's not what I meant. I was just venting. I didn't mean it. You meant it, he said, his voice cold. You might not have wanted me to hear it, but you meant it. And I can't stay in a marriage where I'm just someone you settled for. I begged him to reconsider, to try therapy, to give us another chance. But his mind was made up. I'm done, Emma, he said. I deserve someone who loves me completely. And you deserve to figure out what you really want. The next morning, he was gone. No note, no explanation. He didn't answer my calls or texts. When I went to his office, his co-workers said he'd taken a leave of absence. Weeks turned into months, and I still had no idea where he was. The divorce went through uncontested. Liam never reached out again. Even now, years later, I can't think about that day without feeling a pang of regret. I thought I was just venting, that my words didn't mean anything. But words have weight, and sometimes they break everything. Words have power, and mine shattered the one person who truly loved me. Late at night, I often find myself wondering where Liam is. If he's happy, if he's found someone who loves him the way he deserved to be loved. And sometimes, I can't help but wonder if letting him go was the biggest mistake of my life.